Welcome back to another book review. Today we are going to review Court of Bitterthorn by K.L. Moody, the Fae of Bitterthorn. This is actually my very first Fae book, I guess you could say. For it being my first one, it was okay. It was pretty good. If I had to rate it, I would say a 4 out of 5. I am into fantasy books, at least lately, with vampires and was it dark blood, I mean. So right out the gate, I would say this book is very well written. I love that she's very detailed in describing all of the characters' purpose, and to the point where I don't believe there's a prequel. As far as I know, this book series is only 3 books long. I don't know if the author's writing another one, but as of right now, this book alone, how it ended, it left me wanting more, to the point where I did purchase the sequel. I always say only buy the first book, because if you end up buying the whole series right out the gate, and if you don't like it, then you're kind of stuck with the series, and you're kind of just forcing yourself to read the series that you don't even really like or interested in. I've done that 3 times so far, so I always tell people, don't do it. Just buy the first book, and then if you end up liking it, buy the second, and going about it that way. I mean, if you gotta wait, you gotta wait. This story itself is about Elora. She's like this coming of age young woman of a family of 5. It's her mom, dad, and 2 little sisters, and herself. Best way to describe her is she's a tomboy. She takes after her dad. Her dad is like the best craftsman, swordsman in the land, within the kingdom. To not give any spoilers, basically, Elora is betrothed to be married based off of the setup of her dad. He basically because of how she is and how much she loves for sword fighting, he found the best suitors who can suit her needs. She likes fighting. This old guy basically says, hey, I don't care if you want to practice your sword fighting all day, as long as you bear my kids. So yeah. So the only reason she's deciding to go along with this is because at the end of the day, she has to make sure her sisters are safe and secure. So that being said, she's doing that, and then she gets tricked into helping this king by the name of Brannick. He's a Fae king of this world, and he says, hey, I need to become High King of all the kingdoms. I need something to set me apart from all the other people in the running to be High King. I want you to teach me to be a swordsman. So she's like, sure, not realizing she actually agreed to this. So in order for their deal to be like okay for her to be willing to do, he promises to have her back in time to marry the old guy, period. I love the way K.L. Moody details everything to the point where you're not really asking questions. If I had to rate it from 1 out of 5, I would say it's like a 3.5. Only because there's a lot of times where I was like, okay, this is too detailed, to the point where I'm like, okay, let's get to the next part. You already caught my interest. Like, why are you having all this filler when I'm already interested in trying to figure out how they're going to get this done? The ending itself, without spoiling anything, it doesn't really make you say, oh, what happens next? How she developed the ending, it concluded in a way where I was like, okay, I see what you did there. Well, what happens next, you know? So I say it's a good book if you're into the Fae world and kingdoms in the Renaissance era, I would say. Then check out this book. If you're not into mythical creatures and magic and all that, pass. I liked it because I just started getting into the fantasy genre. And this isn't like a mushy-gushy romance. It's more of like fantasy adventure. I would describe it as kind of a rom-com because there's parts that made me laugh. The relationship between Brannick and Elora is basically hilarious because she can't stand him, he can't stand her, but you could tell there's some flirtation there. So who knows what'll happen? There's 3 books. I'm on the first one. I love the creatures, the sprites, the trolls. I love how every single one in the book that is introduced has a purpose and a set purpose. I say it's very well readable. I finished it in about 3 days. Like I said, the beginning is slow, the middle's amazing, the ending's pretty good. It leaves you reading more, and it's different. It was a different mix-up for me. So, if you're wondering what book to read next and have no idea what, I say this is a perfect book to read around the fall season. So, check it out. Court of Bitter Thorn. And if I like the sequel, you'll see another book review. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. Bye.